I also see representatives from the Youth Commission, Commissioner Nas Dunding. Nakikita ka po namin. Afternoon.
Again, in few minutes, we will start the program. Kindly find your seats and settle down. Acknowledging the arrival of Majority Leader Attorney Lanang Ali.
Again, we encourage everyone to observe COVID-19 protocols, maintain social distancing, wear your face mask, and of course, your face shields. Maraming salamat po. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome to Cotabato City and Bangsamoro, Ambassador Luke Veron. Sir, good afternoon.
Again, we encourage everyone to observe COVID-19 protocols, maintain social distancing, wear your face mask and face shields.
We are also pleased to welcome our Education Minister, Minister Magandang, sir.
Minister of Mole, Romeo Sama, andito rin po siya. Good afternoon, sir.
Our Assistant Senior Minister, Sir Abdullah Bong Kusain, welcome po. We are pleased to welcome the delegation from the European Union in the Philippines and of course the team of SUBATRA. Welcome po to Cotabato City and the Bangsamoro.
Acknowledging also the presence and arrival of MP Narciso Ueke. Good afternoon, sir. In a short while, partner, we will start the program. Kindly find your seats po and please settle down.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Requesting everyone to please rise for the prayer to be led to us by Father Talino Samar for the IP prayer, Bagandali Abdullah for the Muslim prayer, and Mike Solano for the Christian prayer.
To be followed by the singing of the Philippine National Anthem, the European Union Anthem, and the Bangsamoro hymn. The singing of the Philippine National Anthem and the Bangsamoro hymn will be led by the BAMM choir.
Lord, merciful Father, thank you for gathering all of us today Thank you for bringing everyone safe to this venue. Dear God, we pray that you guide us to nurture the greatest gift you bestow to the people of the Bangsamoro, the gift of peace. We pray that you give us wisdom to choose the right path in these difficult times. Oh Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of peace, that amid our differences, you bestowed upon us the gift of acceptance, the gift of respect, and the gift of friendship. Dear God, we know that there will be hurdles along the way. Grant us wisdom to see through the challenges, so that as one we will continue to serve your people with the mindset of not leaving anyone behind. All this we pray in Jesus' name, amen.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adzabannar. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Mandaitam Tohu berkatan na baigi Dublawayo Tohu amuri bebe Muyot ide ke Trefan tadamu gigi Try people ID Muru Brab Christian. Iraya mo bigay fiyok so dorodor batengin. On tuwapi. Yung tinay rigonote kagatabangan gigig. Dasoy kasasadanan. Abay tulus gi. Tapagay. Labi-labi mo ko gobyerno gi Bangsamoro. Nahas na magagayin ng kalawang sunat din to ha. Sa tabangan magiging. Luhan iti Dodo Malaysia. Dodo Bangsamoro Gobernente. Fiyo Bagi.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansaang awit ng Pilipinas.
Bangsamoro bunga ng pawis ng buhay, kapayapaan, katarungan ay ating nang nakamtan. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, pagpalain Bangsamoro. Bangsamoro, Bangsamoro, lagi kang mamahalin. Walang pipili sa damdamin, mga pangako tutuparin. Habang buhay kami sa'yo'y magbabantay, mananatili sa puso't isipan. Ang kahapong bumilay na nag-uwis ng buhay, nasa piling na ng may kapal. Bangsamoro'y talumpay, bunga ng pawis, sugo at buhay, kapayapaan, katarungan ay atin ang nakamtan. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, pagpalain ang Bangsamoro.
You may now all be seated. Thank you so much again, MP Melanio Alama, Bagandali Abdullah, and Mike Solano. And also thank you to the BAR Choir for leading the singing of the Philippine National Anthem and the Bangsamoro Hymn.
Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma alamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Georgiani Sinsuat from the Bangsamoro Information Office.
And I am Sheila May de la Cruz from the BTA's Publication and Media Relations Division. Magandang hapon po sa lahat. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the SUBATRA program launching with the theme,
Sama-sama sa paglalakbay tungo sa magandang butas ng Bangsamoro. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also joined by some of our BARNM officials, development partners, and BARNM stakeholders via Zoom. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
We are also live via the Facebook pages of the Bangsamoro Government and the Bangsamoro Transition Authority Parliament and the Facebook page of the SUBATRA program.
Ladies and gentlemen, to formally open the SUBATRA program ceremonial launching, Engineer Buhajian Ali, the Director General of the Bangsamoro Planning and Development Authority and Program Director of the SUBATRA program, will give his welcome remarks. Please give Engineer Haj a round of applause.
A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today, I'm honored to welcome Ambassador Luke Veron, sir, Head of Delegation of the European Union to the Philippines. We are glad that you joined us today to celebrate this significant milestone in Durham, the formal launching of the support to Bangsamoro Transition Program. I'm also happy to see Mr. Christoph Wagner, sir, Head of Cooperation of the Delegation of the European Union to the Philippines and Program Officer, and my friend Miss Emily Mercado, together with her colleagues, Mr. Rafael de Bustamante, Deputy Head of Press and Political Information, and Miss Sakura Moreto, Program Officer. My courtesies to our very own, the Wali of the Bar, Sheikh Khalifa Nando, Apostaz, to Senior Minister Abdurrahuf Makakura, my boss, Minister Muhakber Iqbal, to Deputy Speaker Omar Sema, sir, to Minister Edward Guerra of NPW, Minister Muhammad Yaqub of MAFAR, Minister Bashari Latif of MOH, Deputy Minister Ubaida Pakasam of MFBM, to Assistant Senior Minister Dong Kusain, to Cabinet Secretary Astin Pendatun, UNOPS Country Manager Oscar Morenco Ruiz, other members of the Parliament, ministers and head of OCM offices, development partners and CSOs, stakeholders. Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Unknown to some of you, I was in high school when my father, Attorney Lanang Ali Sr., participated in brokering a peace agreement with the national government as chair of the subcommittee on the cessation of hostilities and member of the Maile Peace Panel in 2001. He said that negotiating a peace agreement amid armed struggle is challenging, but the benefits that a peace agreement will ultimately bring to the people make it well worth the effort. Inspired by my father and in my desire to contribute to what has been started, I decided to join the Maile Peace Panel Secretariat. While the journey to peace has been difficult and challenging, we have always had the support of the national government and our development partners, recognizing that peace is a collective goal. Our development partners have consistently assisted us, enabling us to persevere and sustain our efforts to bring about peace in the Bangsamoro. The international community made a significant contribution to the Bangsamoro peace process. In fact, the peace negotiating panels became acquainted with the term decommissioning during a study tour to Northern Ireland, the United Kingdom. We gained a great deal of knowledge from this experience. Long before the signing of the Bangsamoro Organic Law, our friends from the European Union have already been part of the Bangsamoro people's journey to peace. It was my boss, Minister Muhakber Iqbal, and I who met with the European Union in 2016 to discuss what will be the most relevant support to the Bangsamoro transition. That meeting was instrumental in realization of the SUBATRA program, which we are launching formally today. Ladies and gentlemen, we have all gathered here today to safeguard the gains of the peace process with the aim of finally arriving at a genuine peace and development for our people. I'm glad that the good ambassador, His Excellency Luc Veron, has graced this occasion, which reaffirms stronger ties between the Bangsamoro government and the European Union through SUBATRA. SUBATRA is helping the BARM government lay the foundation for the region's lasting peace and development by strengthening the capacities of its institutions to establish an enabling democratic governance environment during the transition period. The program started in July 2020 and will run until June 2025. SUBATRA is providing critical support for 4 areas, namely, number 1, support to executive branch through the Office of the Chief Minister and line ministries to ensure that capacities are enhanced for us to be able to formulate and implement transitional policies. Second, support to the BTA Parliament to improve our capacity to exercise our legislative, oversight, and representations functions. Third, support to the multifaceted Bangsamoro justice system to ensure capacities are in place for us to adjudicate legislation and align with international human rights standards. And fourth, support to civil society, providing the space and resources for them to contribute to the peaceful transition to BARM. SUBATRA held its first program steering committee on March 25, 2021, where the PSC members approved in principle the outline for the inception report and work program. On August 19, the Program Steering Committee convened again to approve 3 key resolutions. Number 1, a resolution approving the inception report and 2021-2022 Year 1 Work Plan for Outputs 1 and 2, providing support to the executive and legislative branches. Second, a resolution establishing a technical working group for the program steering committee. And third, a resolution authorizing the technical assistance team of SUBATRA to conduct feasibility studies for the construction of identified infrastructure projects in BARM. Since last year, the SUBATRA program has facilitated workshops and trainings, interventions for the BTA Parliament and executive offices. Among these notable undertakings are the strategic planning workshop for both the executive branch led by the Office of the Chief Minister and the Parliament to arrive at a common legislative agenda. The strategic planning workshop of the Bangsamoro Planning and Development Authority and the development of the BARM Cabinet Handbook. SUBATRA also provide multimedia equipment to the Bangsamoro Information Office to support them in ensuring that the public is well informed with what is happening in the Bangsamoro government, as we are in the critical phase of the transition period and in line with the Chief Minister's call for moral governance. SUBATRA also supported the strategic planning workshop of the Development Academy of the Bangsamoro, and recently the conduct of the mandatory continuing legal education for BARM government lawyers. For the Parliament, SUBATRA has provided support to Parliament Committee System training on the development of the BTA Parliament Journal, and notably, SUBATRA has helped the Parliament in the establishment of the Multi-Party Leadership Caucus, MPLC, a mechanism that provides the space for dialogue among members of the BTA and across party lines. Just recently, we launched the civil society component of SUBATRA program under the Justice and Society project. In partnership with ACID, the Bangsamoro Development Agency, and the Consortium of Bangsamoro Civil Society, will harness the potential of civil society organizations in BARM to have an active role in this transition period. The civil society component of SUBATRA program will strengthen the capacities of CSOs to promote access to justice, social cohesion, prevent violent extremism, provide public services, and facilitate the participation of civil society in the planning and execution of public policies. In the coming months, the Bangsamoro government, with the support from SUBATRA, will construct 3 OCM satellite offices in Basilan, Tawi-Tawi, and Lanao del Sur. We will also refurbish a training facility for the Development Academy of the Bangsamoro. Also in the pipeline are critical capacity development interventions for the Office of the Chief Minister's Internal Audit Office, the finalization of the Cabinet Handbook, and the finalization of the BTA Strategic Plan. Sessions on legislative analysis, research writing, and moral governance. Our heartfelt appreciation to our friends from the European Union. We may not be able to express our gratitude. Thanks to your unwavering support, our journey during the Bangsamoro transition period has been a life-changing experience for many of us in the Bangsamoro government. The road to peace is a road less traveled, but definitely a road worth taking if you have friends who will walk beside you in the journey. Our sincere gratitude to the delegation of the European Union in the Philippines for walking with us on this journey. There are still challenges along the way, but our mission is to see through these challenges collectively as one Bangsamoro. We will leave no one behind, inshallah. Again, a pleasant good afternoon to everyone. Magandang hapon po. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Sir Haj. Indeed, the journey to peace is a difficult undertaking, but thanks to our development partners, especially the delegation of the European Union to the Philippines, for joining us in this journey.
It is also good to note that SUBATRA has done a number of capacity development interventions, as mentioned, for both the BTA executive offices and the Parliament. We look forward to more interventions to be provided by our dear partners from the SUBATRA program in the next 4 years.
And now, partner, we have come to the most important part of the SUBATRA program, the ceremonial launch, the unveiling of the SUBATRA program logo.
But before we unveil the SUBATRA program logo, the Kutawato Dance Troupe Bureau or Dance Bureau will perform a traditional Moro dance. Let's give them a round of applause.
much. Once again, we have come to the most important part of the SUBATRA program ceremonial launch, the unveiling of the SUBATRA program logo.
We would like to call the Wali of the Bangsamoro Sheikh Khalifa Nando to lead the unveiling of the SUBATRA program logo.
We also invite Ambassador Luke Veron,
Mr. Christoph Wagner,
Senior Minister Abdul Rauf Makakwa,
Assistant Senior Minister Abdullah Dong Kusain,
Director General Muhajirin Ali,
Minister Muhammad Iqbal,
Deputy Speaker Attorney Omar Yasser Sema,
Cabinet Secretary Yasmin Pendato,
and UNEP's Country Director Oscar Marenco Ruiz to join us in the unveiling of the SUBATRA program logo. While they are unveiling the logo, partner, we are also live again via the Facebook pages of the Bangsamoro Government, Bangsamoro Transition Authority Parliament, and the Facebook page of the SUBATRA program. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the SUBATRA program logo. The word SUBATRA is in large black letters to convey stability, solidity, and clarity of purpose. A key element of the design is the BARMM emblem, the yellow crescent with a 7-point star that appears to be rising through the letters of the acronym. This indicates the purpose of the SUBATRA program, which is to assist in raising the standard of the BARMM public service and good governance.
The BARM emblem gives meaning and ownership to the logo design. The crescent stands for the guiding principle that have directed the region towards self-determination. The 7-point star represents the 7 provincial governments of the region: Basilan, Lanao del Sur, Maguindanao, Sulu, Tawi-Tawi, Cotabato City, and the Bangsamoro barangays in the Cotabato province.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, there you have it, the SUBATRA program logo. Thank you so much, sir. By the way, partner, we would like to also acknowledge via Zoom the Bangsamoro Parliament Speaker, Attorney Pangalian Balindong, who is now in Zoom.
Good afternoon, sir. All right, so we have our European Union delegates and of course our dear cabinet members joining the unveiling of the SUBATRA program logo.
Thank you so much, sir. Again, we're also live via Facebook pages of the Bangsamoro Government, Bangsamoro Transition Authority Parliament, and the Facebook page of the SUBATRA program.
One more, let's give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much to our Cotabato Dance Bureau for their assistance in the unveiling of the SUBATRA program logo. All right, partner, without much ado, let's move forward to the messages of our dear principals present with us this afternoon. Let's begin with the head of delegation of the European Union in the Philippines. Please welcome to Cotabato City and the Bangsamoro, Ambassador Luke Veron. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you so much. Sheikh Khalifa Usman, Ban Wali, Senior Minister Abdullah of Makakua, Assistant Senior Minister Abdullah of Dong Kusain, Minister Moaher Iqbal, Chair of EGRB BARM, SUBATRA Program Director, Engineer Mohahijirin Ali, Honorable Pangilian Balingong, BTA Speaker, Honorable Omar Yasser Sema, BTA Deputy Speaker, Cabinet Secretary Asnin Banditoun, Mr. Christoph Wagner of the EU Delegation, MINOPS Country Manager Oscar Marenko-Ruiz, other members of Parliament and ministers present, heads of offices, development partners, stakeholders from the civil society, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. It's good to be here in Cotabato. I thank all of you today for this opportunity to officially launch the support to the Bangsamoro transition SUBATRA program. First, let me welcome the recent approval of the BTA extension until 2025. It provides a space to put governance structures of the Bangsamoro region on a firm footing. By accident, the SUBATRA program will extend until 2025, so it covers exactly this period and will hopefully provide crucial support during the transition. Over the past 25 years, the European Union has strongly engaged in Mindanao, working with the government of the Philippines and civil society organizations in promoting peace, human security and development, including in the most vulnerable and conflict-affected communities. After almost 5 decades of conflict and years of on and off negotiations, the Bangsamoro Organic Law was passed and ratified by the people of BARM. The BOL sets in place the important elements of the framework agreement of the Bangsamoro and the comprehensive agreement on the Bangsamoro, which represent the institutional components of the Bangsamoro peace process. The challenges of establishing a completely new governance system consisting of well-functioning Bangsamoro assembly reflected of the diversity of the Bangsamoro population, a new form of government with its own public administration, along with an independent, strictly merit-based civil service system, as well as a restructured, multifaceted judicial system, combining state, Sharia, and customary justices, are enormous and daunting. In addition, relationships between the state and local entities, as well as the development of an enabling environment for a flourishing civil society and private sector, will have to be redefined. SUBATRA is a program that has been jointly developed with national government authorities, led by the Office of the Presidential Advisor on the Peace Process, the Bangsamoro Transition Authority, and other stakeholders which will support all 3 branches, the executive, legislative, and judicial, and including civil society, to develop and implement a broad-based approach to resilience. SUBATRA can only succeed if it takes an inclusive approach and encompasses all individuals and the whole of society that will build democracy, trust in institutions, and sustainable development, and a capacity to reform. It will only succeed if it takes integrated approach that will combine institution building and capacity building of core Bangsamoro democratic governance institutions to efficiently undertake the transition. The end goal is to achieve lasting peace and sustainable development in Mindanao. SUBATRA is only one of many development efforts that the European Union implements in Bonn. Over the years, the European Union has shown that you can count on us as a committed, trusted, neutral, and reliable partner in sustaining peace and development. Amid the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, the SUBATRA since last year has commenced with these institutional building activities, capacity building workshops, and logistical support for the Bonn government, including the development of a legislative executive agenda, cabinet handbook, and strategic plans for various agencies of Bonn. The EU believes that this is only through building strong and democratic institutions that inclusive peace and governance can be achieved. Rest assured that the EU is firm in our commitment to be your partner in achieving the aspiration of all the diverse peoples in Bonn. The strong resolve and resilience that you all have demonstrated through the years leave no doubt that we will succeed. Sama-sama, together, in the journey towards the promising future of Bangsamoro. Thank you, and mabuhay.
Thank you so much, sir, and we are pleased to have you here in BARMM. The SUBATRA program aims to help the BARMM lay the foundation for lasting peace and development in the region. And now, let us all welcome the BTA Parliament Speaker, Honorable Pangalian Balindong. Attorney Pangalian Balindong will deliver his message via Zoom. Again, once again, our BTA Speaker, Attorney Pangalian Balindong.
Chief Minister Al-Haj Murad Ibrahim, the BARM Chief Minister, His Eminence Saif Khalifa Osman Nando, the Wali of the Bangsamoro, Ambassador Lok Veron, head of the delegation of the European Union in the Philippines, Engineer Muhajirin Ali, Program Director of SUBATRA, Deputy Speaker Omar Sema and other members of Parliament, of course the Honorable Abdurrao Pakakwa, the Senior Minister of the Office of the Chief Minister, other members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I would like to express my profound gratitude to the European Union through His Excellency, Mr. Luc Perron, the European Union Ambassador Designate, for the implementation of the support to the Bangsamoro Transition Authority, or SUBATRA program. Today's formal launch is a milestone for the interim government because it solidifies our partnership to expedite and strengthen the transition mechanism for the new Bangsamoro political entity. During the last few months, our concerted efforts to capacitate our leaders and bureaucracy had borne fruit. All branches of the interim government have contributed so much and coherently worked with each other to attain the degree of success that we have today. Despite the limitation in resources and the fearsome threat of the global pandemic, the entire machinery of the interim government has never ceased to function. In the parliament itself, we have passed landmark regional laws and are on the right track to finish our priority legislative measures before the term of the present administration ends in 30 June 2022. In fact, the national government had taken cognizance of our efforts such that they deemed it appropriate through the enactment of a law to postpone the regional elections in 2025 and extend the term of the interim government for another 3 years. Such extension is a vote of confidence on the value of our work to enable our people to immediately and directly benefit from the economic gains of the peace agreement. But we understand that we still have so much to do and that the unfinished tasks cannot be pursued by us alone. The continuation of our partnership is indispensable if we are to achieve our shared objectives to uplift the lives of the Bangsamoro people and enable them to participate in nation building. International cooperation is as important as national government support to provide our fledgling government not just logistical support, but more importantly, technical proficiency that will make our civil servants world-class. The remarkable downtrend in COVID-19 cases is a positive development that our regional government is looking forward to. This means that health restrictions will be eased and that commerce, industries, and services will be soon operating in full swing to revitalize our distressed economy. We cannot be caught unprepared for the reopening of our economy. Our people and our resources, in cooperation with our international partners, national governments, local government units, civil society, and the business sector must be ready to complete our mandate with utmost dispatch and efficiency. With the term extension, it will be appropriate to revise our timelines for our plans and programs to make way for longer and bigger investments in health, in education, social services, infrastructure, and more. This will complement the overall economic recovery programs of our country. We fervently hope that you will continue to help us achieve our future plans for our people. The greatness of the remaining tasks is dwarfed by the resolute desire of all of us to do what is best for the Bangsamoro. SUBATRA, since its inception, has been one of our foremost supporters. We could not have done much without your sincere and dedicated assistance. Our respective mandates may only be provisional, but the work that we have done here are cast in stone and will be long remembered as the enduring partnership which paved the way for genuine peace and development to reign in our beloved homeland. Mabuhay ang Bangsamoro.
Thank you very much to our dear BTA Speaker, Honorable Attorney Pangalian Balindong. Truly, the partnership between SUBATRA and the BTA Parliament is one for the books. Maraming salamat po. As many of us know, the relationship of SUBATRA with the regional government stretches across the legislative and executive bodies. What a better way to understand further with their programs in the executive department than to hear a message from the senior minister of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. Please welcome Honorable Abdul Rauf Makakua. Let's give sir a round of applause.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. His Excellency Ambassador Lok Biron, Head of Delegation of European Union in the Philippines, our Wali, the Bangsamoro Wali, Sheikh Khalifa Usman Nando, our Chief Minister, Honorable Ahud B. Ibrahim, to our Speaker of the Bangsamoro Transition Authority, Speaker Pangalian Balindong, to Deputy Speaker who are with us physically, Dato Omar Yasser Sema, Secretary Galvez maybe was in the Zoom, Presidential Advisor on Peace Process, our brother Muhagir Iqbal, the Minister of Education, and presently the Chairman of the IGRB, VARM, members of the BTA who are presently or in Zoom, Engineer Muhajin Ali, the Director of SUBATRA in the Bangsamoro. Good afternoon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. And also mention our friends and partners for peace. Again, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am delighted to be given a privilege to speak in this program launch for the support to Bangsamoro transition or SUBATRA with the theme Sama-sama sa paglalakbay tungo sa magandang bukas ng Bangsamoro. The journey of the Bangsamoro to self-determination has been an indispensable story of hope, courage, and unwavering faith. Throughout the years, we emerged to uphold our duty to serve the region and the people wholeheartedly, not merely with the conduct of multi-sectoral programs, educational support, and technological advancement, but also to strengthen the unity of the Bangsamoro people. Sustaining the unity of region and enhancing the capacity of the people, especially in responding to the demands of societal changes, is made possible with the support of partners that have genuine commitment to help us progress. We are honored and grateful to the European Union and some agencies like, for instance, the Spanish Agency for International Development Cooperation for their continuous support through the 5-year 1.5 billion pesos SUBATRA program. With the passage of Republic Act 11-593, which extend the transition period to 2025, we hope to further build up our relationship with our partners for the successful establishment of moral Bangsamoro government and to fully attain the lasting peace in the region. As we continue our journey, we are committed to develop, innovate, and discover the potential of the Bangsamoro and venture into greater heights with our partners. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon to everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Senior Minister Honorable Abdul Makakwa. Truly, the SUBATRA reaffirms the EU's commitment to the peace process and development in the Bangsamoro region. And now, let us all welcome the Chair of the Intergovernmental Body Relations of BARMM and the Minister of MBHTE. Let us all welcome Minister Muhager Iqbal.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Before I proceed to my message, I want to pay my respect to our guests and partners in today's event. To the warm Chief Minister, Brother Ahod B. Ibrahim, Honorable Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr., His Excellency Ambassador Locke Biron, Head of Delegation, European Union in the Philippines, Honorable Pangalian Balindong, Speaker of the Bangsamoro Parliament, Honorable Abdurrahman Makakwa, Senior Minister, Engineer Muhajirin Ali, Director General of BPDA and Program Director of SUBATRA, my fellow ministers, Minister Edward Guerra, Minister Milanyo Ulama, Minister Muhammad Yaqub, Deputy Speaker Attorney Omar Sema, my fellow members of Parliament who are present physically and virtually, guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and a very pleasant good afternoon. On behalf of the Ministry of Basic, Higher and Technical Education and the WARM Intergovernment Relations Body, I welcome you to the launch of the support to Bangsamoro Transition or SUBATRA program with the theme Sama-sama sa paglalakbay tungo sa magandang bukas ng Bangsamoro. I consider it a privilege to participate in this gathering where we highlight our firm commitment to good governance in the Bangsamoro region and the importance of strategic and meaningful partnership. Despite our nation's diversity, including the BARM, our constituents can expect to put our differences aside and collaborate towards a singular objective to establish a conducive environment that will allow the peaceful, cohesive, secure, and inclusive development of Mindanao through an effective transitional government in the BARM. It is in this area where the SUBATRA program can assist the BARM government. The journey towards fulfilling the Bangsamoro people's right to self-determination, which is the core of the armed struggle and the peace process, has not been easy. Peace and security issues have inundated the landscape in which we serve and operate. Moreover, despite the past utmost efforts, the institutions that should have protected the Bangsamoro's well-being were crippled by corruptions and other anomalies. Shortly after the ratification of the Bangsamoro Organic Law and the establishment of the BARM government, we in the Bangsamoro Transitional Authority acknowledge the immense responsibility of addressing the needs and aspirations of our people while executing critical reforms to amplify the regional government's public performance. Good governance requires the steadfast commitment to use authority for the greater good and create a system founded on justice, peace, integrity, and moral issues or values. Nevertheless, the intricacies of the bureaucracy are complicated, even for the most experienced executive or government officials. So, we would need support in this area, leading to the inception of interventions such as the SUBATRA. Being part of the MILF Peace Implementing Panel, Engineer Muhajirin Ali and myself were involved in the early discussions on SUBATRA, and it is inspiring that we are moving forward with this program as envisioned. We therefore thank the European Union and the Philippines and the Spanish government for the assurance to assist the BARM government through institutional strengthening and technical advice. I should emphasize here that we are launching this program after President Rodrigo Duterte signed Republic Act number 11593, or an act resetting the first regular elections in the BARM. This law provides us with an additional 3 years to further government accountability to the Bangsamoro people and complement institutional reforms with improving service provisions in the communities. To be very frank, without this 3-year extension of the transition period, the future would be full of uncertainties. In this regard, we sincerely thank President Rodrigo Roa Duterte and Congress of the Philippines for this extension of the transition. With this extension, we will be able to embed the principle of moral governance, wherein every official or leader must implement lawful and ethically sound programs effectively and efficiently for the general welfare of the people. I believe our observance of moral governance revitalizes hope in the ability of the BARM government to deliver essential public goods and protect the fundamental rights and civil liberties of the people. Before I end my message, I want to share this verse from the Holy Quran, and I quote, "Leadership in Islam is rooted in belief and willing submission to the Creator, Allah, and we have made them leaders, guiding our command, and we inspire them to do good work and to observe the prayer and to give out charity. They were devoted servants to us," referring to Allah, unquote. Once again, thank you to the European Union in the Philippines and the Spanish government for their unwavering support. We look forward to the in-depth discussion and collaborative planning and implementation of SUBATRA. I believe that cooperation and genuine partnership can contribute to system strengthening, allowing the BAM government to become responsive and flexible in the face of significant challenges. Finally, as chair of the MILF Peace Implementing Panel, let me thank the European Union for nominating a very capable and highly respected diplomat in the person of His Excellency Marius Haino as head of the third-party monitoring team. Thank you, European Union. Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. Maraming salamat. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much to our MDHTE Minister, Muhammad Iqbal. Truly, the singular objective is to create a peaceful Mindanao through a strong transitional government in the Bangsamoro. Moving forward, as many of us know, the BRMM is a process of the peace negotiations between the GPH and MILF. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to introduce to you the Presidential Advisor on Peace, Reconciliation and Unity, Secretary Carlito Galvez.
To the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao, Chief Minister Ahud Ibrahim, Minister Muhammad Iqbal, European Union Head Delegation of the Philippines Ambassador Luc Veron, Bangsamoro Transition Authority Speaker of Parliament Pangalian Balindong, BARM Senior Minister Abduraouf Makakwa, representatives from the Agency for International Development and Cooperation, members of the SUBATRA CBCS project, fellow workers in government, representatives from civil society, peace advocates, peace builders, Assalamualaikum, good day to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, today marks another milestone in the Bangsamoro peace process as we formally launch the support to the Bangsamoro Transition Authority project of SUBATRA. We are pleased that after several months of intensive planning, discussion, and preparation, this initiative is finally being rolled out and will soon be making an impact on the lives of the Bangsamoro people. The Office of the Presidential Advisor on Peace Process congratulates the BARM government, the European Union, Agency for International Development and Cooperation, and various project and institutional partners for coming together to develop the SUBATRA, a program that aims to further enhance the capacity of the PDA's executive, legislative, and judicial branches to carry out interventions that are anchored on the principles of democratic, inclusive, and accountable moral governance. We commend and thank the European Union and the ACID for spearheading this project, which seeks to strengthen the capability of the BARM government to implement meaningful governance, at the same time provide an opportunity for civil society to play a key role during this crucial transition period. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay po tayong lahat. Shukran.
Thank you so much, Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr., the Presidential Advisor on Peace, Reconciliation, and Unity. And now for another video message of the leader of modern Bangsamoro struggle, now leader of the Bangsamoro government. Let us all welcome Chief Minister Ahud Ibrahim.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. To the Wali of the Bangsamoro, Sheikh Khalifa Nandong, His Excellency Luc Veron, His Excellency George Moragas, Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr., SUBATRA Program Director and BPDA Director General Engineer Muhajirin Ali, BTA Speaker Attorney Pangalian Balindong, MBHTA Minister Muhajir Iqbal, Senior Minister Abdul Rauf Makakwa, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Bangsamoro. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. May the blessings of peace be upon all of us. The support to Bangsamoro Transition Authority SUBATRA program is designed to contribute to a peaceful, cohesive, secure, and inclusively developed Bangsamoro. As an initiative born out of one of the biggest chunks of democratic governments in the world, the European Union, SUBATRA has become a fundamental component in helping us establish an enabling democratic governance environment for a smooth implementation of the transition in the BARM. If I might add, key to our successful partnership with the EU is born out of a perfect combination of caution and creativity. SUBATRA adheres to local principles and existing efforts to avoid duplication and waste of resources while creatively adapting frameworks suitable to ever-changing landscape of the Bangsamoro. SUBATRA helps us provide regulatory standards while taking a facilitative and risk-proportionate approach in all levels of our new bureaucracy, and in effect helps boost the capacity of our regional government in crafting transitional policies and strengthening our parliament's ability to exercise its legislative oversight and representation functions during this transition period. The Bangsamoro is still learning, and we are miles away from the BARM that we aspire in the Bangsamoro Organic Law. But with SUBATRA and the EU by our side, we know that we can reach possibilities, inshallah. Thank you for believing in the Bangsamoro cause. Wabillahi tawfiq wal hidayah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
And that's our Chief Minister of the Bangsamoro, Honorable Chief Minister Ahud Balawag Ibrahim. Just few takeaways. Bangsamoro government is truly grateful for the contributions of our dear partners from SUBATRA, a perfect mix of cautious and creativity all at once and all for the benefit of our transition period. Maraming salamat, Chief Minister Ahud Balawag Ibrahim.
Thank you so much. And we have come to the closing of the ceremonial launch. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today on the launching of the SUBATRA program. Please follow the SUBATRA program at their Facebook page. And you can also visit the SUBATRA website at www.subatra.org and the parliamentary website, parliament.bangsamoro.gov.ph.
We encourage everyone to please maintain our COVID-19 protocols as you exit the BTA Parliament Hall. Thank you and keep safe.
Once again, thank you to everyone, to our MPs who are here with us today, to the ministers, and to our visitors who are with us today. And we would like also to thank the Protocol Division, Sir Toxi, for the program, for facilitating the program, Kenny of the UNOPS, Sir Reggie Pastrana, the Parliament Key Speaker, Parliament expert of the SUBATRA. Thank you so much, everyone.
Once again, my name is Georgiani Sinsuat from the Bangsamoro Information Office.
And I am Sheila May de la Cruz from the BTA's Publication and Media Relations Division.
Wabillahi tawfiq walidaya. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh and have a safe afternoon.